Welcome back to the Gist English Masterclass. Today we're going to talk about a really simple change that can make you sound way more confident and credible at work. And it's all about leveling up just one thing, your verbs.
Okay, let's just dive right in. In any professional setting, I'm talking emails, job interviews, you name it, it's not just about getting your grammar right. The words you choose, they create a real impression. And using precise, powerful verbs, well, that's like a shortcut to showing everyone you're confident and you know what you're talking about.
So let's just take a quick pause here. Think about the last email you sent, or maybe the last meeting you were in. When you were describing your work, did your language sound powerful? Did it really have the impact you were hoping for? If you're not totally sure, then trust me, you are in exactly the right place. Just look at the difference here. It's pretty immediate. On the left, you've got, we did a review. It's fine, it works, but it's pretty basic, right? Now look at the right. We undertook a review. Wow, it just sounds so much more formal, more serious, more professional. That one verb, undertook, adds this whole new layer of authority. So yeah, the benefits here are super clear. When you use stronger verbs, you can get your ideas across with so much more precision. And that's absolutely crucial when you're talking about strategy. And what does that do? Well, it makes you sound more professional. And that ultimately builds up your credibility with your colleagues, your boss, everyone. All right, now before we start building up our new verb toolkit, let's do a quick, painless grammar check-in. To really use these verbs correctly, especially when we're talking about the past, we just need to understand two basic types. That's it. And honestly, the difference is pretty simple. Regular verbs, they're predictable. You just tack on ed for the past tense. So articulate becomes articulated. Easy. Irregular verbs, though, they're the tricky ones because they change their form completely. Like undertake becomes undertook. There's no magic rule here, you just kind of have to learn them. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. Let's build that toolkit. We're gonna focus on 4 really high-impact verbs that you can literally start using today to make your English sound so much more professional. First one up is articulate. This is a regular verb, and it just means to express an idea really clearly and effectively. It's so much stronger than just saying someone said something. For example, in a presentation, you could say, she articulated the long-term vision with confidence. Sounds great, right? Next, we've got mitigate, another regular verb. Now, this is a huge one in business, especially for talking about problems. It means to reduce how serious a risk or a problem is. A perfect professional example would be something like, the new policy helped mitigate operational risk. Okay, now for an irregular verb we already saw, undertake. This means to begin and really commit to an important task. And remember those forms from our grammar slide? They go undertake, undertook, and undertaken. You might see it in a report like this. The firm undertook a full review of its compliance practices. And our last toolkit verb is oversee, another irregular one. Oh, this one is perfect for your resume or for a job interview when you're talking about your management experience. It just means to supervise. The forms are oversee, oversaw, overseen. A really powerful example is, in my last role, I oversaw the regional expansion project. Okay, so knowing the definitions is step 1. That's great. But now let's see how these verbs actually work in the real world. In the emails, meetings, and reports that you're dealing with every single day. Let's say you need to inform someone that a problem has been passed on to a higher authority. Instead of saying you sent it up, a much more precise and professional way to say it is, the issue has been escalated to the relevant department. It's clear, formal, and shows you understand procedure. Now, think about a meeting recap. You wouldn't say that problems came up. A more formal and elegant way to phrase that is to say, several concerns arose during the discussion. Arose is just the past tense of arise, and it sounds much more analytical. And for a formal report, instead of just saying the findings showed something, you can be more impactful. A phrase like drew attention to is much stronger.
It suggests the findings are actively highlighting a problem that needs to be addressed. Like in, the findings drew attention to several compliance gaps. I love this slide because it shows a perfect upgrade path. The phrase make better is something we all say, I get it, but it's pretty weak. Let's be more specific. Did you make a process more efficient? Well, you streamlined it. Did you improve its quality? Then you enhanced it. Or did you make it as effective as it could possibly be? You optimized it. See? So much more powerful.
So look, knowing these verbs is half the battle, for sure. But using them correctly, that's what really makes you sound like a pro. So let's quickly cover 2 common mistakes you'll want to avoid. Okay, this is probably the most common mistake I see with irregular verbs. Just remember, after have or has, you always need the past participle. That's the 3rd form of the verb. So it's never have undertook, it's always have undertaken. Got it? The second mistake is simply being too vague. I mean, I did communication. What does that even mean? It doesn't explain what you actually did. Did you write emails? Organize meetings? A verb like I coordinated communication is way more specific and does a much better job of describing your actual skills.
In this sentence right here, it just perfectly sums up our goal. A basic speaker might say, we fixed the problem. But a professional, they tell a story using these powerful verbs. We undertook a review, identified the issue, and implemented corrective measures. It's just so clear, it's active, and it is way more impressive.
So here's your challenge for this week. I want you to think about one weak verb you use all the time. Maybe it's do, get, or make better, and just replace it with a more powerful one. Just start with one. I promise you'll be surprised at the difference it makes. See you in the next class.